We have a number of wonderful guests who have taken time out of their busy schedule to come and be with us. And we've got a lot of things to go over with you to introduce you to the Performing Arts Center's 2018 schedule, and to make sure that you have a chance to meet all the key people that are trying to help make the Performing Arts Center in Simsbury even better than it is today. And we're so fortunate to have such a wonderful, wonderful vehicle venue, not a vehicle, a venue in our town. And we're trying very hard. The 17 directors that are currently on the board are working very hard to make sure that we expand the footprint of the venue. You would be surprised, those of you who come to all of our events, you would be shocked probably to know that if you drove 5 miles out of town, people don't even know that the Performing Arts Center is here. So a real challenge for us is to spread the word and to expand the message, if you will, of the Performing Arts Center. We have a lot of things going on. We've spent a lot of time, energy, and money to make sure that we have a good strategic plan, that we now have a full-time executive director. And we're going to introduce you to that wonderful, nice, wonderful young woman tonight. And she's going to tell you about our season that's coming up. But most of all, and most importantly, we want to thank you who support us so much. We want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and spend an hour and a half or two with us. And we'll try to make sure that you benefit from this and get a lot more knowledge than you have today. So I want to go through the agenda with you real quickly. And so this is what we're going to try to cover this evening in the next few minutes. We're going to go through a 2017 recap. Dave Ryan's going to work with you on that and talk to you about that. We're going to talk about the... Okay, so, oh my God, Phil Shank, you're right here. Bloomfield, what are they doing right now? Is the whole town shut down while you're gone?
On my way to Avon.
Oh, wait a minute. They may not recognize you. May need an ID to get into Avon now. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about the PAC board development. Dave will talk to you about that. Introduce Missy DiNunno, our new executive director. I think you're going to love her. We all are very pleased that Missy is a part of our team now. We have a great 2018 season, and we're going to talk about that. We have 13 other events that are coming up this summer. We have a ticket booth brick sale that's going on. I'll talk to you more maybe about that in a few minutes. But we are right now, if you drove by the Performing Arts Center, you would see a big hole in the ground over there. And that hole is the beginning of the basement for our ticket booth. And that basement is going to have executive offices, an amphitheater. I made all that up. There's no amphitheater. It's just the footings for the new ticket booth that we're putting up. But we're in the process of upgrading and enhancing the whole campus back there, and you'll see a lot going on in the next few months. We're not putting in a big basement with an amphitheater. I wish. So that's going on, and we're going to be putting in a walkway. There are folks that are going to be talking about that with you, and we're selling bricks to do that. And then finally, we have door prizes, because that's how we got you here, was these big lavish door prizes. I know you didn't come just to see me. So we have drawings for some really very, very nice door prizes, and we're going to do that at the end. Right now, I want to turn this over-equipped mic over to Dave Ryan, the chairman of our board, and David is going to go through a number of things with regard to the Performing Arts Center. And is that sun bothering you? Do you like? I know a lot of you probably wonder what in God's name that orange thing is over in the west. Well, as hard as it is to believe, that's the sun. And it happens here once in a while. So we had it come out just for you tonight. All right, so this is Mr. Dave Ryan. David? Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob.
Is this working?
Is this you?
No.
No, it's
It's not working. He took the batteries. All right, I don't have to introduce her. You see why she's here. Anyway, 2017 was the fourth year that the Performing Arts Center, Inc. managed the Simsbury Meadows Performing Arts Center. It was a good year, except for some rain. I have this image in my mind of 2,000 people smiling under their umbrellas at the David Bowie concert. I don't know if any of you were there for that night. They were really very happy looking, but God, it was wet. Anyway, as a 501c3, we are required to be audited and to file an IRS 990. And we just received a clean audit for the year 2017, and the audit report and the 990 will be posted on our website, as the others are, and we're invited to take a look at them and see what happens to all the money that you provided us to spend in trying to bring good entertainment to Simsbury. The sponsorships and donor generosity helped us add $23,000 in capital assets during the year. A lot of that were the chairs that we talked about the last time we went around, but that is a great asset and helps us reduce yearly equipment rental costs. During the year, we started the ticket booth project, and you see that we have some drawings of it. And in a few weeks, I think Chris Nelson is here, and I think he said 4 or 5 weeks we should be able to see the real ticket booth there. The success we had last year was due to great entertainment brought by the HSO and Premier, a lot of hard work by the facility manager, Tom, our sponsors, the many volunteers who were essential to the operation, by the PAC board, who contributed much time and effort, and finally to you, our friends, volunteers, and supporters, who do so much to make Simsbury a better place because of high-quality arts and entertainment. A year and a half ago, we started thinking about how our nonprofit should progress from survival mode, which we started in, with a few $1,000s from the town and no idea how we were going to get through the year, to sustainability as an organization. The Hartford Foundation Nonprofit Support Program helped us with a board development program done by a consultant, Michael Negron. He made a number of recommendations for us to improve our operation, including that we should complete a strategic plan. And then the Hartford Foundation funded a contract with Web Management Services to do just that. The strategic plan that was adopted was, first, simplify and focus our mission statement. Second, become more involved with the local community. Third, begin a transition from a hands-on working board to a policy setting and fundraising board. Those of you who volunteered may remember a couple of years ago, board members spending 2 hours, 3 hours in the afternoon before a big concert sticking numbers on the back of the seats so people would know where to sit. And finally, hire an executive director. We formed a search committee that considered over 100 resumes, and one stood out. She's bright, full of ideas, energy, and is undaunted by our lack of a convenient restroom.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, welcome. My name is Missy DiNunno. Remember that. So I am incredibly honored to have been chosen to lead our organization into the future. And honestly, I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to acknowledge the real reason why I'm standing here. So what many of you may or may not know is that it is National Volunteer Week. Did you know that? It is. April 15th to the 21st is National Volunteer Week. So, as you most likely know, this organization was built by volunteers, a group of volunteer visionaries set out to create the Talcott Mountain Music Festival. Then a group of volunteers and community members got together and single-handedly conceived, fundraised, and built what you now know as the band shell. And then they formed the 501c3 nonprofit that Dave has talked about. Apparently I can't walk around. I'm gonna back up. How about now? Okay. So what I wanted to start with was really recognizing, Missy can't roam, she's gonna stay right here, was recognizing those volunteer efforts. I have been fortunate enough, I worked at the Bushnell for 14 years and I did a short 6-month stint at the Schubert Theater in New Haven this summer. So I have had the great fortune of working with probably close to 1,000 volunteers. So because of that, I have really learned from some of the best what it means and what the spirit of volunteerism truly is. So I have somewhat of an appreciation for that, I think. And truly, the people who you've been mingling with this evening, our board members, our volunteers on the ground, they're incredible people. So I wanted to take a minute, just a minute, to recognize them. Our board is a working board. Many boards are not working boards like ours is a working board. So the people you're mingling with tonight in suits may be in a blue t-shirt serving you a nice cold brew at the venue in the summer, or they may be driving the forklift to move chairs, or they may be storing those chairs, or they may be helping you park your car. And we really couldn't do it without them. And we especially couldn't do it without our board. So I wanted to take a minute just to give them a round of applause, because I certainly wouldn't have a job here without them, and we wouldn't all be having such a nice time if it weren't for all of their vision. So, bravo. So as Dave mentioned, and I'm going to have to move to do the PowerPoint, so if I lose you, I'll just shout. As Dave mentioned, we have been going through a strategic plan process, and part of that was to review the mission statement, kind of streamline it a bit, give it a bit more focus. And one of the things that you're going to see is that our mission is very deeply rooted in community. So the new and improved mission is the Simsbury Meadows Performing Arts Center, Inc., through the Simsbury Meadows Performing Arts Center, will enrich community spirit, quality of life, and economic development in Simsbury and the surrounding region. And one of the things that I have the pleasure of doing today is revealing our season. And I think what you're going to really see as you see the events that we have coming is that those events are deeply rooted in community. Over 60% of our rental clients live in Simsbury. So we are giving back to the community. They're coming out and they're getting a financial boost to have their event here and really bring in some nice people into our community. So without further ado, should we see the season? So we start out just 9 days from today on April 28th. That's a Saturday. You'll see our board up over here with the Simsbury Flea and Smorgasbord. Last year, the event brought in close to 3,500 paying guests, and then kids were allowed in free. So then you had kids on top of that. And from what I understand, and speaking to the tourism folks, the vast majority of those people came from out of Simsbury, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing for our town and our venue. Following up on the heels of that is our Rotary River Run. I know that I have had the opportunity. We have Rotarians in the house. I have had the opportunity to speak at a couple of Rotary meetings, and they give you a lovely breakfast, which it's my favorite meal, so I always like to visit them. But they will be here for the River Run on Sunday the 29th. So please go out, support that event, either as a spectator, perhaps you want to run. Great event. We also added this year the FAIR 5K, the Food Allergy Research and Education will be doing a 5K in support of their cause. And that is on Saturday, May 19th. And immediately following is an event you all know and love, Born in Simsbury, Simsbury Adventure Triathlon. That's on Saturday the 20th. We, of course, also have the return of the Amica Iron Horse Half Marathon. That is Sunday, June 3rd, bright and early. An event that I'm really, really excited about this year is the Simsbury Solstice. This is a Grateful Dead tribute band called Terrapin. They are out of the Stamford area. They are coming in and they are bringing their friends from the local musician community who do tributes to Santana, Allman Brothers, Fish. It's going to be an all-day festival from about 3 in the afternoon till about 10 at night. Food trucks, inflatables for the kids. Come on out. It should be an outstanding day. And then we have the return of Mainly Marathons. And Mainly Marathons threw me a little loop this year because they decided they wanted to have their marathon on the same day as Celebrate America. And I said, how can I make this work? But our lovely friends at the Symphony were so kind to trust that I will have them out before they need the venue to be fully in swing. So we're excited that we're able to kind of manage 2 events on that same day. And now, I would like to introduce you to Amanda Savio, who is the Marketing and PR Manager with the Hartford Symphony Orchestra, and she's actually joined here today by Ruth Severinsen, who's their Director of Development. Many of you may know Ruth. Ruth's right down here in the front. So Amanda is going to tell you a little bit about their season. You're going to have to stand like right
I have to stand right here.
Or you can go plug in.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Great. So again, my name's Amanda. I'm from the Hartford Symphony Orchestra, and I just want to say we're so happy to work with Missy. I was very lucky to work with Missy when I worked with her at the Bushnell and at the Hartford Symphony. This place is going to benefit greatly from her, so we're thrilled to work with her. So yes, Talcott Mountain Music Festival. It's coming up quicker than you think. It's June 29th through July 27th. This entire season this summer will be conducted by our assistant conductor, Adam Boyles, who is fabulous. We can't wait to have him with us all summer. And of course, we're kicking it off apparently the same day as a marathon on June 29th with Celebrate America. I didn't know that. I'm sure it'll be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So we are kicking off Talcott, as we always do, with what we consider to be Connecticut's best Independence Day celebration, Celebrate America. It will feature the Asylum Hill Congregational Church Choir and the Newington Church of Christ Congregational Choir, as well as soprano Sonia Tangblad. This program will, of course, include all of your favorite patriotic songs, as well as a tribute to Leonard Bernstein, and, of course, fireworks following the concert. We follow that up on July 6th with Brass Transit, the musical legacy of Chicago. This is a dynamic, studio-tight Chicago tribute band that has been called perfect in every detail. And the HSO will perform all of your favorite hits from the band Chicago. And I bet you know more songs than you think, because once we started going through them all, I realized I knew far more than I thought, including Saturday in the Park, If You Leave Me Now, You're the Inspiration, and so many more. If any of you have been out at Talcott for one of those sort of rock concerts, you know it's a great time. Everyone's dancing, everyone's singing. It's so much fun. On July 13th, we are bringing a superstar to Simsbury with Here's Doc celebrating 60 years in show business. Doc Severinsen, the legendary band leader for The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, is coming out. He will be paying homage to the American Songbook and perform some of his favorite tunes of the big band era and beyond. He'll share some stories. He'll talk about his greatest musical influences. He's going to be 91 this summer. I think the week he's coming, actually, and he is as great as he ever was. We can't wait to bring him to Simsbury. So that is on July 13th. On July 20th, we are honoring the big screen with magical movie music. We have found at the Hartford Symphony that people absolutely love movie music. We just sold out 3 Harry Potter concerts this past weekend. So we will be bringing music from all of your favorite Academy Award nominated films, including Chicago, The Godfather, Forrest Gump, Star Wars, Amadeus, and so many more. So you can just sit back and relax and enjoy all of that music on July 20th. And then, and this is what I am personally looking forward to the most, as a child of the 80s, we have Rewind celebrating the music of the 80s on July 27th. So break out the Aquanet and your neon clothes and all of your 80s gear and just come to party with us. It's going to be a fun-filled musical journey with music by artists like Wham, U2, INXS, Kool and the Gang, REM, Billy Joel, on and on and on. The HSO will be backed by an amazing rock band and vocalists. It's going to be a great way to end the summer season. We hope to see all of you out at Simsbury Meadows this summer. Please keep your fingers crossed between now and June 29th for good weather.
Thank you, Amanda. I had a thought. You know, you have these shower thoughts when you're brainstorming. They said I'm full of creative ideas. We need a hair crimping station at the 80s show. Can we find, Ruth, someone to sponsor a hair crimping station? Because I think people would like to do that. I would. Why not, right? Great season with the HSO. We are excited that they are out with us. They are truly our staple. They keep us going. So thank you, Amanda, for being here. I am going to take you through the rest of the season. So once we jump out of Talcott Mountain Music Festival land, we are going right into a new event for us. It is a volleyball tournament. It is called the Connecticut Dig. There will be about 400 participants, so 200 two-person teams. They will play over the course of 2 days of a week. They are going to be playing probably from 9 in the morning till 7 at night. And they play to win cash prizes. But we are turning this into a big event. They outgrew their home in Granby. They were at Salmon Brook Park. But we are welcoming them in. We are going to bring in some food vendors. So it'll be a really nice day for folks. If you're a fan of beach volleyball, this is grass volleyball, but it's going to be kind of similar. So we're excited about this one. And of course, what would Simsbury be without Septemberfest? The second weekend in September, the 7th through the 9th, we will be back in action with Septemberfest, country music night, family day, where we're going to bring back that teen talent showcase that was so popular last year. And we will also, of course, be featuring our Oktoberfest on Sunday. So we hope that you will all come out and visit us. We have a couple of more fundraising events at the venue. The first is we do have a Simsbury MS Walk happening on Sunday, September 23rd. And then the Rob Branham Foundation, who is a great organization that raises money for the fight against leukemia, they are bringing their Raise a Paw to Fight Leukemia to our venue. So they are going to have food vendors, doggy vendors, people can bring their pets, people can sign up and register to be a part of the dog challenge course. So if you have a dog that loves agility courses, come on out to this event. It's going to be outstanding. And then, of course, as we always do, we wrap up the season in late October with the Chamber of Commerce's Simsbury Spooktacular Chili Challenge. Do we have the chamber in-house? I'm sure we do, yes. So we will welcome them back, and they will round things out on October 27th. The next thing that I need to cover is our sponsors. We would not exist without our sponsors, our donors. With a general annual operating budget of about approaching $450,000, we need all the help that we can get. And we've been so fortunate with all of our community members supporting us and really investing in us and helping us to move forward. And we're going to be looking to you to continue to do that as Creative Missy brainstorms ideas. I'm looking at you. So, I have been fortunate enough to sign on some repeat sponsors and some new sponsors already this season. And I wanted to just take a moment to do a couple shout outs. Of course, presenting sponsor Simsbury Bank. They have always been our leading sponsor. Martin Geitz is on our board. They are incredible supporters of not only our venue, but so many local events. So we are eternally grateful to Simsbury Bank for their support. We have an anonymous gold sponsor, so I'll let you mull over who that might be. Silver sponsor, Billy Garrity is here today. He was just kind enough to sign on as our silver sponsor. Again, keeping it local. Thank you, Mr. Garrity. We appreciate it. And bronze sponsor, we do have Simscroft Echo Farms, who is so kind to allow us to use their parking lot area to shoot off those fabulous fireworks and to allow our volunteers to park so that they can greet and seat you. We also have Connecticut Party Rental. Any tent and chair that doesn't belong to us, table, etc., that you see on site at the venue typically comes from Connecticut Party Rental. They are also a longtime supporter. I am working with them now to hopefully put together another event that we'll be announcing hopefully in a few weeks. But they are an outstanding vendor, and I would recommend them if you have any tent or rental needs. And then, of course, Dornenberg Kallenbach Advertising, who helps us with our marketing. All of these lovely posters you see here. We are very grateful for their support. I also we got creative with sponsorships. So we created a couple of special sponsor programs this year, and we actually just signed on a volunteer program sponsor in Westminster. You typically see Westminster School's logo on the arm of the t-shirts that our volunteers are wearing. They've traditionally been our t-shirt sponsor, but they took a chance on me, and they upped their contribution this year so that we can actually upgrade our volunteer database records, have some more recognition for our volunteers, and we're really excited to be involved with them. They do great things over at the school, and as I said to Jeff Kennard, my contact over there, one of the things that they want to teach all of their students is to value service, and I think that really aligns nicely with the spirit of volunteerism. So we are very excited to have them on board. Old Well Tavern, local restaurant in town, has signed on as our food sponsor. So we are happy about that. You should see them pretty much at every event that you come out to. I haven't had the chance to taste the food yet, but Frank tells me I need to try the wings, so I'll be over there sometime soon to do that. And then for Celebrate America, one of our sponsors for the fireworks will be Educational Play Care. So we are very grateful to Jane Porterfield and everyone at Educational Play Care for providing that for us. And obviously it provides a nice little fireworks spectacular for all of you. Now, before I welcome Mr. Hensley back, I want to do a very quick plug. We have 3 job openings at the PAC. We have 2 part-time positions in facility management, which are the people you see out on the grounds, making sure things are clean, making sure our rental clients have what they need, bringing ice to and fro, driving the Bobcat, driving the Cushman, driving the golf carts. We need help in that area, and we have job descriptions up on our website, so if you know of anyone who might be looking for part-time employment, please send them my way. I also have an opportunity for an operations assistant who will be kind of my right-hand person in the office doing database management, coordinating with vendors, and the like. But it's a really nice experience because even if we can get a college student who's maybe interested in an internship, but then I can pay them and they still get to see what it's like to work in entertainment, I think it would be really an opportunity of value. I know I was an intern, so Ruth's telling me she has someone for me. I'm excited. So I was an intern, and I had the opportunity to have some good internships and some not so good internships. So I am truly committed to any young person who wants to kind of get a sense for what this industry is like, really providing them with an experience that will show them soup to nuts what's involved. So if you have a bright young person that might be interested in joining our team, I would love to have them. Now I'll turn it over to Bob. He's chit-chatting in the back, though, so I hope that he hears that I'm talking to him. So Bob, of course we have our sponsors, but this year, as we've mentioned, we're building the ticket depot, as we're going to call it. And so Bob's going to tell you a bit about that and about all those folks that help make that happen. So thank you very much for your time tonight, and hope to see you out at the venue.
You can't imagine how hard it is to do what she does. And we're so pleased to have Missy as part of our team. And I hope that you will take the time, if you get the time, to go down and introduce yourself to her in her office. We're in the process of upgrading, as I mentioned to you, a lot of the campus back there. So you'll see a lot of changes going on, not just the ticket booth, but just with a lot of things that are going to be changing behind the Performing Arts Center. And so we want you to be a part of that. I just had a conversation with Brian DeVoe, Fitzgerald's, about fireworks. So Brian, thank you so much. We will make sure that the fireworks are like more incredible than they've ever been in our entire lives. And maybe we'll have somehow them display Fitzgerald's in the sky along with educational play care. I don't know exactly how we're going to do all that yet. I hope it has nothing to do with me and an airplane. But anyway, we're very pleased, and thank you so much to all of you for your help. I hate this microphone. Only because it's like damaging the wonderful job that I could be doing. So I told you about the ticket booth that's going to be going up as we speak. We also have the chair project going on. That's a very important thing. We bought, cannot move from this place. Magic place. The chairs, we bought believe it or not, we bought 1,300 chairs with donations from people over the last 2 years. This is an incredibly valuable thing to us, and I want to spend just a moment on that. But also the ticket booth. So what is the big deal about a ticket booth? We have raised money from the Garmany Foundation and from a number of organizations. Vantis Life helped us to finish the project. Thank you, Peter Tadone. And so many others. The anonymous donor was very helpful. And so that's important because it cost us $6,000 a year. You can't even turn your head with this. $6,000 a year to rent a trailer to be a ticket booth. $6,000 comes right off of our bottom line. And an organization like ours, and I'm on a number of nonprofit boards, and I'm involved in a lot of fundraising things, and those of you who do this know how hard it is. It's a very important thing. So the fact that we can put up our own ticket booth and that we have it funded, that we have it paid for, and that we'll be able to not have to rent a ticket booth every year for $6,000 is a very important thing to our bottom line. Why is it important? There are many obvious reasons, but one of them is because right now, for performances like Harry Connick Jr., Kansas, the Beach Boys, Tedeschi Trucks. Tedeschi Trucks was here last year. This year they're at the Xfinity downtown. So those kinds of groups are very expensive. We depend upon one promoter to do that. We'd like to experiment with some of our own funding of those kinds of events. That's a big risk. It requires a lot of resource. And so being able to drive more revenue to our bottom line by not having to rent a ticket booth, as an example, is incredibly important. And I think you'll hear more about other things that we have coming for the rest of this year. Linda Schofield, it would be like not a good thing if we didn't mention how important Linda was to the production, if I can call it that, and the construction of the ticket booth. Linda and her husband, Mark, have been incredible advocates for and disciples for, maybe I could use that word, for the construction and the fundraising behind the ticket booth. So even though Linda's not here this evening, I think she's in Ireland, but she's with her husband on a wonderful trip. And Linda and her team on the development committee did that whole thing, and we very much appreciate it. We should give her a big round of applause. There are other folks, Space Fitters and Bill Woodman are donating the furniture for the office and the carpet for the office, and Steve Basil and his Steve's an agronomist. If you don't know what that is and you need to know what kind of tree is outside this building, go find Steve and he'll tell you everything about, actually he'll tell you more than you need to know about that tree. So when you play golf with Steve, it's an adventure into like forestry. But Steve and his company are helping us with all of the landscaping around the office at the Performing Arts Center, so we want to thank him for that. It's an important thing. We're very happy to have you here, and I want to make sure that we get to all of the drawings and the giveaways that we have tonight. We've had a great evening. I'm glad you had a chance to meet Missy. I hope you, if you get a chance to drop by and say hello to her, you will. Help us make the Performing Arts Center even bigger and better than it is. And we thank you so much for coming out and spending this part of your evening on a Thursday evening with us. And guess what? We're ending early. Who does that? Thank you so much for coming. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.